on the Pietermaritzburg, and all the other sciences on both the Pietermaritzburg and Westville campuses. Exceptions are agricultural engineering, which is offered in Pietermaritzburg, and geology, which is offered at Westville only. To compete with the best and to meet the challenges of the 21st century, South Africa needs highly skilled professionals in the areas of agriculture, engineering, and science. We offer a wide array of interesting and innovative degree programs that open doors to a variety of different careers. Some degrees are unique to UKZN and are not offered at other tertiary institutions. For example, we are the only university in South Africa to offer a fully accredited agricultural engineering degree and one of only 2 universities in the country to offer a BSc in land surveying. Our postgraduate food security training program is the only one in the world, and we have the widest range of agricultural disciplines at any single South African or African campus. The choices of degree and the options on offer may seem confusing at first. Engineering degrees are more specific, and the options are usually career-focused. Emphasis is placed on training in the specific principles which engineers deal with in their professions. Engineering offers 7 different professional specializations. There are also degrees in land surveying or geomatics and property development. In science, there are structured or career-focused degrees. These include fields as varied as chemical technology, marine biology, industrial and applied biotechnology, and computer science and information technology, to mention a few. There are also more general degrees with a lot of flexibility. In this case, students have the choice of studying a BSc M stream in maths, physics, computer science, and statistics. All of these have a strong mathematical component. The other option is a BSc LES stream with a focus on the life and environmental sciences with subjects such as geography, genetics, botany, hydrology, zoology, ecology, and microbiology. In agriculture, there are various different options that involve practical and scientific applications. Students can combine science subjects with specific agricultural disciplines for a 4-year Bachelor of Science in Agriculture degree. These are more career-orientated. Agriculture and agricultural management are 3-year degrees with a higher practical component. Dietetics is a professional qualification that deals with the role nutrition plays in the promotion of health and the treatment of disease. Most degree programs across the college have field trips and projects that contribute significantly to the curriculum. This ensures that students learn in real-life situations under full field conditions. Many of our lecturers have received Excellence in Teaching awards, are recognized internationally, and are rich in practical experience. Students have access to excellent facilities that rank amongst the best in the world. 300 million rands has recently been invested in new teaching and research facilities, state-of-the-art laboratories, and improved equipment. The 30 million rands new School of Engineering building is the envy of engineering campuses across the country. Agricultural students have access to a 356-hectare research and training farm situated near the Pietermaritzburg campus. This facility provides students with hands-on training and is used extensively as an outdoor laboratory for teaching and research in areas such as animal and poultry science, horticultural science, and agricultural engineering. Adjoining Ukulinga is the Bisley Valley Nature Reserve, which supports a diversity of plant and bird species, as well as some large mammals. It provides a rich learning and research environment for staff and students. Based on the Westville campus, the college possesses unique facilities for research into higher voltage power transmission. These facilities are available in only 3 other places in the world and form part of the ESCOM-sponsored Science and Technology Innovation Park. The Science and Technology Education Center showcases the college's scientific achievements and promotes the public understanding of science, engineering, and technology within the region. The college houses a wide range of sophisticated equipment in its microscopy and microanalysis units, staffed by highly qualified and skilled technical specialists. The College of Agriculture, Engineering, and Science prides itself on its graduates who are highly sought after. In a market characterized by a shortage of qualified professionals in science and technology, our graduates are readily employed around the world in the fields of agriculture, science, commerce, industry, engineering, and research, to name just a few. Research plays a major role within the college and operates at the cutting edge of technology. College has the highest research output in the university and produces the most research publications. There are over 60 well-established research groups and centers within the college. The African Center for Crop Improvement caters for students from all over Africa. It is one of only 2 African plant breeding programs on the continent. Based in the School of Agricultural, Earth and Environmental Sciences, the African Center for Food Security focuses on alleviating hunger in Africa. It offers food security training programs, undertakes academic and applied research, and provides policy and program support. Promoting sustainable engineering practice is the Center for Research in Environmental, Coastal, and Hydrological Engineering, or CRESH. It deals with the interaction between engineering and the natural environment. The Mechatronics and Robotics Research Group in the School of Engineering provides an excellent research and education environment for its senior undergraduate and postgraduate students. Judged one of the best research centers at the university, the Center for Plant Growth and Development focuses on high-quality research in the plant-based disciplines of plant physiology, plant molecular biology, and ethnobotany. The Center for Quantum Technology deals with physical phenomena at the microscopic level. Quantum physics led to the development of the transistor and the laser, and is currently being used to develop quantum computers and quantum cryptography. The college is committed to access and readdressing the disadvantages and inequities of the past. The highly successful Unite Engineering program and the Science Access Foundation and augmented programs offer alternative access to university, equipping students from disadvantaged backgrounds with the skills and knowledge to pursue their degrees of choice. Both these programs contribute significantly to advancing Black African scientists and engineers in South Africa. Staff and students contribute to a number of outreach and community initiatives that focus on social responsibility, sustainable development, and upliftment of the wider community. The college also engages in activities involving the pursuit and understanding of science, engineering, and technology through exhibitions, festivals, and roadshows that target high school learners and the general public. The college has minimum entry requirements for its programs. These differ from degree to degree, but all require a national senior certificate and minimum performance levels in mathematics and either physical or life or agricultural sciences. For those who do not meet the minimum requirements, access programs are available. Additional information and brochures can be obtained from the contact information accompanying this video. The College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science is proud of its contribution to the university, the region and the country.
UKZN is one of the best. I definitely understand it's one of the best in South Africa. So for me, there was no other institute that I would have preferred other than UKZN.
With the best facilities here in terms of laboratories, in terms of equipment, in terms of human resources, in terms of literature.
UKZN is one of the best universities in the country that teach agriculture, natural sciences.
What I think is good about this college is the level of international collaboration that we have. We have friendships with universities all over the world, which means that we're keeping up to a great international standard.
UKZN has got much more facilities and it's recommended worldwide to do your science studies here. Life begins here.
We continually strive to be academically excellent, innovative in research, and critically engaged with society. We invite you to join us or work with us to be part of this exciting team.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Matric Helpline. Our sessions starting today and running throughout August and September. I'd like to welcome you and thanks for joining us tonight in our life science session. My name is Jerusha and I'm joined by my co-host, Dr. Nimisha Singh, who will be taking you through some biology this evening, and we'd like to encourage you to look at the chat that we have on this Zoom session, and we will be posting various links in that chat for you to register for our sessions, to receive communications that we will send you on following sessions. And also to, if you could please register on this link so that we can contact you and have you on a database for these Matric Helpline sessions. We will also be posting links for the website that we have and various other links for our email contact avenue as well. And we would just like to extend a warm welcome to you this evening to our life science session as we start off this round of Matric Helpline sessions. We are very excited to begin doing work that will be geared towards your trial examinations that are coming up. Okay. Today's session is going to be, although some students may have already covered it in your June exams, okay, this section I'm going to be doing today is reproduction, and it may still come out in your trials, definitely will still be coming out in your main exam as well. So the more practice you get on this section, the better. And I'm going to jump straight into it this evening. I'm going to be doing theory with you as well as some practice questions, and I encourage you to please participate and don't feel shy at all. This is a very casual session and you are more than welcome to ask me any questions, stop me at any time if you'd like me to revise something or repeat myself or any of the following. You can always just raise your hand, unmute, and you are most welcome to make this session as interactive as possible. And we're going to have a fun-filled time tonight. Okay, so you can see in the chat, we've posted our website link for you where you'll find the schedule and as well as Zoom links for other topics that we cover, like physics and maths and chemistry, okay? And we also have on our website the video recordings of previous sessions that we have done, okay? So you are most welcome to watch those sessions as well and see if you can gain any information from those sessions. I'm sure you'll find it most helpful, okay? If you have missed our sessions in May, those sessions covered the work you would have done in first and second term, okay? And from next week onwards, we are going to be doing work that you have covered in third term, okay? Let me just start sharing my screen with you, if you'll give me just a moment. Okay, and I'm sharing my screen now. Can everybody see this? Can you just give me a thumbs up if you can see this screen? It should be a PowerPoint. Students, you may just unmute and say, yes, you can see it, or no, you can't. Or you can just give me a thumbs up. Please feel free. Oh, thank you, Armstrong. And I've got 2 thumbs up. I can, and Skulile, thank you. Okay. Right. Okay, if you just have a quick look at the chat, you'll see a link there. It's to register. Please, may you just take a moment quickly and register yourself on this Google form that we have. We'd really like your information to go on our database for you to receive further information about our Matric helpline sessions. Okay. Okay. Okay, so as I said, today's topic is going to be on reproduction, okay? And this topic has a lot of terminology that you need to learn and go through, okay? A lot of it comes up in your missing, sorry, not missing word. In your, sorry, now my PowerPoint's not clicking. It comes up in your multiple choice, as well as give the biological term. It comes up in those sections, and there's also numerous short answer questions that can come up in your paper, okay? So we are going to go through the theory of it first for the first hour of the session, and then the second, I'm going to go through a whole lot of questions with you guys, okay? So please feel free to stop me at any point. I'm just going to revise this section with you and talk about reproduction in general firstly, and we have 2 types of reproduction, external and internal fertilization, okay? Now, external fertilization, as the name suggests, is going to be occurring outside of the body, usually in water, okay? And you will find this type of reproduction common in invertebrates, fish, and amphibians. Okay, this is when the females lay their eggs in water and the male swims over and actually releases the sperm over the eggs. Okay, now this method of fertilization comes with a number of problems, because not only are those eggs now prime targets for predation, there's also a high degree of non-fertilization, because remember, it's occurring in water. Water has constant movement, okay? So it can wash away the sperm. It can result in the sperm not reaching the eggs, okay? And it can also bring with it a number of predators that will eat the eggs, or the sperm, okay, that are floating, that's floating in the water. Okay, however, this type of reproduction still exists today. It has not been selected out by evolution because it is still successful in these types of organisms. Okay, and the reason being is that the female lays a very large amount of eggs, and there's a very large amount of sperm that is released by the male. So the sheer number of these eggs causes this method of fertilization to be successful. Okay. And then we have our internal fertilization. This is when the sperm is released into the female's body. So it is in a closed system, basically. It's not out in the open in the environment. Okay, and this is when the sperm is released into the female's body and it swims towards the egg for fertilization. And this obviously comes with a high degree of success because the sperm is basically in a closed environment and protected from the external elements, so that it can swim directly to the egg. Okay, and there'll be a high degree of fertilization and success of that sperm and egg fertilizing each other. Okay, there's no predators involved, obviously, and the only thing that can hinder this process is the female's immune system that does launch an attack on sperm cells. However, there's millions of sperm cells that are released. So the sheer number, again, as I said, causes that some degree of success, whereby about a couple thousand sperm from millions actually do end up reaching the egg. They avoid the immune system and they do make it to the egg. Okay. Is everybody understanding that? Just so we start off well. You can just give me a thumbs up. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so some terminology that you do need to know, okay, it always comes up in this section, is ovipary, ovovivipary, and vivipary. Okay, so what is ovipary? Ovipary is when a fertilized egg has been laid, and this occurs outside the body, and the young hatch from the egg. Now, can anybody give me an example of this, of what organism is oviparous? Any examples? Any documentaries that you've watched or something where you can think of an example of an oviparous animal? Where the egg has been laid outside of the body and the young hatch from the egg. Yes, Linda Kushle?
A bird.
Very good. Okay, that is correct. Okay, thank you. Then we have ovovivipary. This is when the fertilized egg is retained in the mother's body and the developing young get nutrients from the yolk. Okay, so this is an easy one. An example of this would be a chicken. Okay, so the chicken has an egg and the yolk is now going to be the source of nutrients for the chick inside the egg. So the chick is going to develop inside that egg and then hatch. Okay. Okay, then we have vivipary. This is when the offspring is within the female's body, okay, and the nutrients and oxygen are obtained from the mother's blood via the placenta. And this occurs in most mammals, okay? And most importantly, the young are born live, okay? So there's no eggs involved here. Okay, so please know these three terms. Okay, so now we've just got a picture of the amniotic egg, okay? And you can see the internal structure of it, okay? A few days after being laid. You can see the embryo there. You can see the embryo and three very important membranes, four very important membranes that you should know is the amnion, the yolk sac, the allantois, and the chorion. Okay, you don't really need to know yolk sac. I mean, that's the easy one. But the amnion, allantois, and chorion, you must know. You must also know the function of them. Okay, so the amnion now is the one that surrounds the embryo, okay? And this, well, it surrounds the embryo except on the ventral side where the embryo is in direct contact with the yolk sac, okay? The amnion secretes amniotic fluid, okay? And this fluid provides moisture to the embryo, allows embryo freedom of movement, and very importantly acts as a shock absorber, because if the embryo is not in a protected environment, it can be damaged because it's so fragile. Okay, so it's in a watery shock absorbing environment. Okay, then we have our allantois, which is a bladder-like structure. Okay, it looks like a bladder type of structure, and this collects and stores the nitrogenous wastes that the embryo produces. Okay, remember now this is only going to happen in an egg. It's different from the placenta and the womb. Okay, then we have our chorion, and this is a membrane that allows for gaseous exchange. Okay, so those are the three membranes that you need to, or structures that you need to know very well in an amniotic egg. Okay, is everybody fine with that so far? Let me just check our chat. Okay. Okay, is everybody okay with this so far? Can I move on? Okay, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Sorry, sometimes these slides take a while to change. Okay. Right, now we're just going to look at two different types of development that birds undergo. Okay, you get precocial and you get altricial or altricial development. Okay, so precocial development is whereby the chick is mainly found in the nests that are on the ground. Okay, the eggs have a lot of energy in them. Okay, and they obviously results in a well-developed hatchling. If there's a large yolk, okay, for this chick to develop, okay, it results in a very well-formed hatchling. The young chicks are able to move immediately after hatching, okay, which means that they are much more independent because they leave the nest 2 days later. Okay, so we have the development of a hatchling that is quite independent and basically halfway, it's what you would term a teenager. Okay, it's not a baby as much as it is like a bird that can actually survive more on its own. It doesn't require a very large degree of parental care. Okay, the hatchlings are easy prey for roving predators. Why? Because the nest is on the ground. Okay, and you will find that this is the method of development for ostriches, ducks, and turkeys. Okay, compare this now to altricial development, whereby the birds' nests are built high up in the trees. Okay, now these eggs are much smaller okay? And they have a smaller yolk, which means that there's less energy for the young chicks to feed on. So the chicks are a little bit poorly developed when they hatch. Okay, their eyes are even closed. Now, this means that they are helpless and they are totally dependent on their parents for food and protection. Compare that to the hatchling who undergoes precocial development. The young chicks that hatch are able to move immediately, okay? And they actually leave the nest 2 days later. So compare that now to hatchlings that are small, their eyes are closed, they are completely helpless. Okay, and they require a large degree of parental care in the first few weeks. Now you will find this occurring in most flying birds, okay? For example, doves, eagles, finches, etc. Okay, so you must know the difference between these two and also these two terms, precocial and altricial. Okay. Okay, Armstrong, thanks for your question in the chat. This session is mainly geared towards the Matric syllabus, but if you have any questions relating to the grade 11 syllabus, you are more than welcome to ask me. And also you can put your question on the chat or you can email us your questions. But today I don't mind assisting you with the grade 11, with a grade 11 question, but you can just put it in the chat. And as soon as I'm done with reproduction, I will assist you with your question. But thank you so much for joining us. And the good thing is you get a head start on Matric, on the Matric work. So at least you are getting more knowledge than you need right now. So well done to you. Okay. Now I've just included the male reproductive structures here. This is for your learning. You need to know the labels of this diagram. Okay, so you will be most likely given a diagram and you are going to need to provide the labels. So you must be able to label a diagram such as this. Okay, so know labels, know the labels and know the functions of each. Okay. Of each label, so you should know the functions. Okay. Now we'll move on to the process of gametogenesis. Now, what is gametogenesis? It is the process whereby we produce gametes. Okay, so the sperm is a gamete. Okay, so that is termed spermatogenesis. And spermatogenesis occurs under the influence of testosterone. Okay, this is a hormone produced in males. Okay, testosterone causes the sperm cell to mature, to form a spermatozoan. Okay, so the sperm cells are diploid. Sorry, they are diploid there's diploid germinal epithelium which undergo meiosis resulting in haploid sperm cells. Okay, so that you will end up with 4 haploid spermatids after division of diploid germinal epithelium. Okay, that is found in the seminal vesicles. Okay. Then we have in females now, the eggs, those are your gametes in females. And the process of generating eggs in females is called oogenesis. Okay, and this occurs under the influence of follicle stimulating hormone or FSH. And it also occurs when germinal epithelium undergo mitosis. Okay, and follicles are formed. Okay. Okay, so one cell inside a follicle enlarges and undergoes meiosis. And that's when we have 4 cells that form, and each of them mature to form a ovum, mature ovum. Okay, and remember, eggs and sperm are haploid. Okay. I've included a picture of the female reproductive system, which you need to know the labels of as well. Okay, and you also need to know the functions of each of these parts. I'm just leaving on the screen for you for if anybody wants to take down some functions there. Or you can just take a picture of this diagram. It's nice to learn from. Okay, so now we're going to look at your cycles. Okay, so in this particular section now you need to know quite a few cycles. Okay, particularly for the female reproductive system. Okay, you need to know various cycles. The first one being the ovarian cycle. Okay, now with the ovarian cycle, we have this occurs under the influence of a luteinizing hormone, which is produced by the pituitary gland. Okay, and this causes the follicle to mature to what we call a Graafian follicle, and the Graafian follicle contains an ovum. Okay, the ovum is then released when the Graafian follicle produces your estrogen. Okay, and the ovum is released, and that is termed ovulation. Okay, this usually takes place on day 14 of the menstrual cycle. Okay, now once that ovum is released from the Graafian follicle, the follicle develops into the corpus luteum. Now this corpus luteum secretes your hormone progesterone. Okay, now the luteinizing hormone is actually what converts your Graafian follicle into your luteinizing hormone. Okay, so you need to know these hormones that are at play here. You need to know follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, and progesterone. Okay, so your corpus luteum secretes progesterone, which maintains pregnancy. Okay, then if your pregnancy does not occur, the corpus luteum disintegrates and progesterone levels drop. Okay, this causes the unfertilized ovum to pass down the oviduct into the uterus and leave the body. Okay, so your ovary will secrete estrogen, which prepares the endometrium for implantation of a fertilized ovum. Okay, so that occurs in every menstrual cycle. Okay, so your ovarian cycle is basically when your follicle matures and releases an ovum. Okay, which can be fertilized by a sperm, or it can be unfertilized and then pass out of your body in your menstrual cycle. Okay. If you want to take this down as well, you're welcome to do so, or take a picture as Dr. Singh said. So you don't need to write it all down. You can just print screen it or screenshot on your phone or tablet. Okay. Is everybody okay with this? Okay. Okay, then we have your uterine cycle. Your uterine cycle is now when uterine or menstrual cycle is now when you have your ovum that is being fertilized. Okay, so that corpus luteum matures and produces progesterone, which maintains the pregnancy. Okay, and the ovum, if the ovum is unfertilized, obviously the corpus luteum will disintegrate and your progesterone levels drop. Okay, and the endometrium is shed. This is your menstruation. Okay. Now the menstrual cycle is depicted in these images here. Okay, there's 3 graphs and each of it shows an aspect of your menstrual cycle. Okay, your hormone levels in particular. Then you'll see in the middle of this image, it shows you the actual, your ovarian cycle as well, in relation to these hormones that levels that are going up and down. Okay, so we've got your, in day 1, you've got your ovum. Okay, and then you've got the release of FSH. So an increase in FSH is going to cause this Graafian follicle to mature. Okay, ovarian follicle will mature into a Graafian follicle. And then by day 14, you see that there's a drastic increase in luteinizing hormone, which is going to cause this Graafian follicle to burst open and release an ovum. Okay, and in correspondence with this, you have a drastic increase in estrogen. Okay, once this has occurred, okay, and also if you look at your endometrial lining, it is getting very thick towards the day 14. Okay, because it's preparing itself to receive a fertilized egg if that should occur. Okay, if you look past day 14, you can see, okay, that ovum will now be released into the fallopian tube, and the Graafian follicle now develops into a corpus luteum. Okay, this corpus luteum will secrete your hormone progesterone. So that is why we've got an increase in progesterone here. Okay, and your corpus luteum actually disintegrates after day 21 because there has been no fertilization. Okay, you can see there's a corresponding increase in the thickness of the endometrium, okay, at day 21, because the corpus luteum is releasing progesterone, which prepares that womb for maintaining a pregnancy or maintaining a fertilized ovum. Okay, is everybody okay with this? Do you understand? You can just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, then I've included this, sorry, the spelling error here. Okay, fertilization and embryo development. This is a picture of your fertilization and blastocyst implantation. Okay, so you can see that here's your ovarian cycle that's happening here in the ovary. Okay, you can see that your Graafian follicle matures and bursts and releases that ovum into the fallopian tube. Okay, on day 0, there was fertilization that occurred. Okay, in the fallopian tube. Okay, and then day 1 and 2, we have mitosis happening where that cell is dividing. Okay, so that is your cleavage, day 1 and 2. Then the cell further divides into many cells. okay, between day 4 and 5, and now it is termed a morula. The morula moves down into the womb, okay, and it is now termed a blastocyst when all these cells, when there's a ball of many cells, okay, and then when implantation occurs, we have it called a blastocyst, okay, and a blastocyst looks like this, like a basket of eggs, okay, so it's like a basket shape. Here's the bottom of the basket, here's the handle of the basket, okay, that is a blastocyst, and that will implant in the endometrial lining of the womb, okay. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, so that is basically your important points of the theory for this section. Okay, there is a little bit of other theory involved, such as embryonic development or gestation, okay, that you can, is pretty self-explanatory, that you can learn on your own, but I've just included some nice pictures for you to take down or screenshot there so that you've got nice images to refer to. Okay, do you have any questions now for me on the theory of reproduction? Any questions at all? Any parts that you don't understand? You're welcome to put it in the chat as well. Or you can just unmute now and just ask me any questions that you might have. Anybody? Okay, so before I go on to now questions, we're going to do some past questions from past papers that I have selected for you guys, okay, that have come from Department of Education papers from 2016 onwards, okay. So if you are able to do these questions, then you know, okay, you've got a good chance of getting these correct in your exam, okay. So these are exam questions, so you should be able to do them. And if you have problems with them, that means now maybe you need to go back and study some more, or you are most welcome to ask us questions if there's parts that you don't understand while we are going through these questions. Okay, before I do that, let me take Armstrong's question, and then we will move on to the questions that we have for reproduction. Armstrong, can I take your question now quickly? Armstrong?
Armstrong, you can put this in the chat. I will read it out for you if you do not want to speak.
You can unmute as well. It's up to you. What topic or question do you have for me from your grade 11 syllabus? Hello, Armstrong. Okay, he's
present. He's present but not responding.
Yes, okay, no, it's fine. We'll move on and we'll take his question towards the end. Okay, we just before I begin the questions, it's quite a long session and I don't want to stop in between unless you guys have questions for me. So we are going to take a 5-minute break in which we are going to show you a video on how you can apply to UKZN. Okay, so everybody should be thinking about that now. It's getting late in the year, so please you should be thinking about applying to universities, and we are going to show you exactly how to do that for UKZN in this video. Okay, Dr. Nimisha Singh will play it for you now, and we will resume our session at 6 o'clock. Okay, 6 p.m.
Okay, just give me a few minutes while it loads. Okay, it's just being a bit slow. Okay, my browser's being a bit slow. It doesn't want to play.
In the meantime, those of you who have not registered, you can register please on our link that we provided for you in the chat. Okay, please take note of our life sciences email helpline. It's lifesciencehelpline@ukzn.ac.za. You are more than welcome to email us your questions and we will respond to you. Okay, let's get back to our questions. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, can you see that? Just give me a thumbs up quickly. Thank you, Linda Kushle. Right, okay, so I'm gonna ask you for these answers and you're gonna shout it out to me, okay? Because remember, it's got to be interactive, and also we already know these answers, okay? So it's up to you to give me these answers so that you are learning. Okay, so who do we have here today? We've got Anthony, we've got Linda Kushle, we've got Skulile. Okay, and we've got Sipe Sishle. Okay, so you guys can give me the answers. Don't feel shy. Okay, if it's wrong, it's fine. We'll learn. We're all learning. Okay, so tell me, what is the gland that supplies nutrients and enzymes to sperm?
It's a seminal vesicle.
The seminal vesicles. That is correct. Okay, who was that? I didn't see who that was. Linda Kushle, was that you? Well done. That is correct. Okay, so what process is it that leads to sperm production? I'll give you a clue. It was one of my slides. We had sperm production and egg production. So what is the term for that process of sperm production?
Spermatogenesis.
Correct. Okay. Now, what is the sac that contains and protects the testes?
Sipe Sishle said scrotum.
That is correct. Okay. Then what are the interstitial cells found in the testes? What are those cells called? What are the cells found in the testes, the interstitial cells found in the testes? It is the cells of Leydig. Okay, so cells of Leydig are your interstitial cells. Then what gland is it that secretes luteinizing hormone? Which gland secretes luteinizing hormone? This is an easy one. Everybody should know this. What's the answer?
Linda Kushle said ovary.
No, we're looking for a gland. We're looking for a gland in the brain that's going to secrete your luteinizing hormone. Try again. It is your pituitary gland. Okay. Your pituitary gland is going to secrete your luteinizing hormone. And then what structure is found in the ovary that secretes progesterone? We did speak about this when we were talking about the ovarian cycle. Anybody give it a try? It is the corpus luteum, okay, that secretes progesterone. Then what is removal of a baby via surgical operation from the uterus of a female? Surgical delivery of a baby.
It's called a C-section.
Correct, a cesarean section. Now, what is the period of pregnancy called? Period of pregnancy is called gestation. Everybody got that? Gestation. Okay. The structure that forms a link between the developing fetus and the mother. What connects the mother and the baby? Think about it in humans. Yes, Linda Kushle, the umbilical cord. That is correct. Okay. More biological terms. What is the hormone that induces the mammary gland to produce milk? It is prolactin. Okay. Then what is the term for when a sperm penetrates an egg? You get external and internal. Fertilization. Okay. Okay, the muscular structure in which the fetus develops.
Muscular structure.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, it's not the amnion.
Because we think what amnion actually comprises of. It's not muscular in nature. Linda
Yes.
Kushle said uterus.
Yes, that is correct. The womb or the uterus. Okay. What is a collective term for glands that secrete hormones directly into the bloodstream? It is endocrine glands. Okay. What carries the ovum from the ovary to the uterus? From the ovary to the uterus.
Think of the structure.
Fallopian tube.
Correct. Okay. What forms the neck of the uterus? So the narrow bit towards the bottom, that is the neck of the uterus. Yes, Kulile, it's the cervix. That is correct. Okay. Sorry, I was meant to be typing these answers in for you. My apologies. I'll start typing it now. Okay. 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 Now you can see this diagram here. You can see the male reproductive system and a diagram of a sperm cell as well. Okay, what are the labels for A, B, E, and G? Okay, tell me and I will write it here for you.
Jerusha, can you slightly zoom in?
Yes, sure. Can you see that now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Okay, so what is the labels for A, B, and E? A is what? That is the, take a guess, anybody? Any answers in the chat?
Linda Kushle says prostate gland.
Yes, that is correct. Okay. B. Can you see that?
B. Sipasishle says vas deferens.
Yes, correct. E. That is the urethra. Okay. And D, sorry, G. Is the nucleus, correct. Okay. Okay, state one function of C and F respectively. One function of C and F. What is C? What's the function of C? What's the label of C? C is the epididymis. So what is the function of it?
Kushla says to store sperm.
Correct. Okay. It stores sperm. And F
Produces enzyme.
what is it? What is it?
Sipashishla says it's acrosome. It
Correct.
dissolves enzyme. It produces enzymes to dissolve on the surface of the egg.
Correct. Very good. Okay. Then state the letter and name. Okay, so make sure that you guys, sorry. So make sure that you guys actually take note of this. When you get a question like this, you need to make sure you are stating the letter and the name of the part, okay? Don't just say the name and forget to write the letter or vice versa. You're getting 2 marks for it, so letter and name. Okay, so what is the letter of the name where, what is the letter of the part where sperm are produced?
And the Kushla says D, testes.
D, testes, correct. Okay, that will give you your 2 marks. Now explain why it is necessary for part D to hang outside the body of the male for 2 marks. Okay, so it's hanging on the outside. Why? Why is it located outside of the body? Think about heat. Gave you a clue.
The scrotum is hanging outside to maintain lower body temperature for sperm production.
Correct.
Correct.
Very good. Okay. Okay, name the following, the cells that secrete the male sex hormone. What cells secrete the male sex hormone? Name the following, the cells that secrete a male sex hormone. Any answers for me?
No answers as yet in the chat. Right, if you put stump, look at 1.5b. If you can identify the hormone, then you should be able to figure out the cells.
So what is that hormone? What is the male sex hormone that stimulates the development of secondary sexual characteristics in males? This is a very easy one. It's the only hormone that you need to know for males.
Yeah.
Correct, CPC said testosterone. Now, what are the cells that secrete testosterone?
What are they called?
They're called Leydig cells. Leydig cells. Okay. During a vasectomy, part B is surgically cut. Okay. Explain how this procedure will act as a method of contraception.
Okay, so whenever you get a question like this, the first thing is identify the part they are referring to.
Yes. So what is part B? You labeled it vas deferens. Okay, so if they are to cut the vas deferens, what does that mean? How will that act now as a method of contraception? What's the function of the vas deferens?
Kushla says send sperm to the urethra.
Okay, it is a sperm duct. Yes, correct. So now if it sends a sperm to the urethra, what does that mean? If it's cut, it won't be able to send the sperm to the urethra, which means that there'll be no sperm in the semen. Okay, so that is how it acts as a method of contraception. Okay.
B, will it be possible for a man who is HIV positive to pass the HIV virus to another person after he undergoes a vasectomy? So for B, it's simply a yes or no answer because C is asking you to explain your answer to question 1.6B.
So what do you think? Any answers?
And none in the chat.
Okay, the answer is still yes. Okay, because it's just the sperm that is not able to get into the semen, but the semen itself can contain the HIV virus. Okay.
And because remember, the HI virus can be in any body fluid. So
Yes.
semen is still a body fluid.
Okay. Next question. Can you see this?
Yes, you can see
Okay.
this.
The structure of the male reproductive system, write down the letter and the name of the following. Okay. Letter and name. The part where meiosis takes place.
So where does meiosis take place so that you can have your sperm cell?
Any answers? Just give it a try, guys. Don't feel shy. Where is sperm produced? And what's the label for that now? Correct, Sipe. So what's the label? What's the letter? It is F. Okay. Okay, the part that transports semen and urine to the outside of the body. That is part C, and it is the urethra. Okay.
Rectal intercostal.
Yes, that is correct. The part where immature sperm cells are stored. That would be your seminiferous tubules, which is, or actually your epididymis as well. Stores sperm and allows them to mature. So that is part D. No, E is incorrect. It is part D, which is epididymis. Okay. Name the male hormone that is responsible for development of sexual characteristics. We just did this. You'll see this comes up all the time. So you should always get this correct. Okay. Write down the letter A to G of the following. The part where the hormone mentioned in 2.2 is produced. So where is testosterone produced?
And the Kushla said the letter F.
Correct. Letter F only. We don't need to provide the name. Okay. The part which is cut surgically during male sterilization. That is B, the vas deferens. Okay. Then, okay, and that is it. Next question. I just want to move a little bit faster so we can get through all these questions. Okay. Okay. 3.1. Give labels for each of the following. A. What is A? You see, it's very common, these labels. It is the epididymis. Okay. B is your testes. Okay, it's very easy. I'm doing the easy ones for you. I want you to do the more challenging ones. And C, it's very common labels that we're getting. You know, this is the vas deferens. Okay, you should be able to identify these parts. Okay, so it's very important, as I said in the beginning, to learn these labels because you're always going to get these types of questions. This is from exam papers. Okay, so these are the types of short questions that you can expect for this section. Okay, state one function of part A. We said before, it stores sperm and allows it to mature. Okay. 3.3. Explain the consequences for reproduction if part C is surgically cut. Can you see the same type of question being asked over and over? So you must learn these answers now. You must know the answer to this because it's definitely going to be something that comes up. Okay, so this is our third question and it's the third time that this is being asked. Okay, so you must know the answer to it. Okay, it's for 3 marks. Okay, explain the concept of the consequence for reproduction if part C, which is the vas deferens, is surgically cut. Okay, there'll be no sperm in semen, which means no reproduction, no fertilization can take place, hence no reproduction. Okay. Can you see that logical flow of how I answered that question? Okay. Explain why it would still be possible for an HIV man to infect another person during sexual intercourse after part C is surgically cut. Okay, can you see the exact same question that we had in our previous question? Okay, because semen still contains the HIV virus. Okay, is everybody with me so far and you're understanding this? You should all be getting these questions 100% correct now. Okay. Let me just copy and paste this. Okay. Okay. Okay, 4.1. Name the process by which male gametes in humans are formed through meiosis. What is the process whereby male gametes are formed? This term came up before, spermatogenesis. Okay. Name the organ in males where the process mentioned takes place. What organ makes sperm? The testes. Okay. 4.3. How many chromosomes will be found in each cell at A? Okay, so sorry, we didn't look at the diagram. Let's go back and look at the diagram. Study the diagram, which shows a process occurring in a human male. You've got one cell dividing into two cells, then dividing into four cells. So the first meiotic division causes 2 daughter cells, and the second meiotic division results in 4 daughter cells. So how many chromosomes will be found in each cell at A? How many chromosomes? We've got it's going to be half the number of chromosomes because we have our first meiotic division occurring. However, in the second meiotic division, you have maintenance of the ploidy, because now our chromosomes are going to be split into chromatids. So we still have the same number of chromosomes. Okay, name 2 processes occurring during the first meiotic division that contribute to the genetic variation of cells A. Okay, so see, this is actually a question that has both reproduction and genetics involved. Okay. Name 2 processes during the first meiotic division that contribute to genetic variation. The first one is crossing over, and another one is random assortment of chromosomes on the equator. Okay. Okay. How many cells at B will carry the Y chromosome? Any answers? Sorry, I'm doing all the answering on my own here.
No answers.
Give it a try, students. Just guess if you don't know. How many cells at B? Oh, 21. Okay, that's incorrect because Armstrong said 21. It is, okay, so we're looking at it in terms of the diagram. Okay, so how many cells at B will carry the Y chromosome? Okay, so that is going to be one of those gametes are going to carry the Y chromosome. It'll be a minimum of one of them. Okay. What are the mature cells at B called? Spermatozoans. Okay. Okay, now next question. Identify the specific type of gametogenesis drawn in diagram 1. Okay, sorry, let's read the top there. Diagrams 1 and 2 below represent spermatogenesis in human males and females. Okay, the diagrams are not drawn to scale. Identify the specific type of gametogenesis in diagram 1. What would be the specific type of gametogenesis? Okay, Linda Kushe says spermatogenesis. Okay, why would you say spermatogenesis, Linda Kushle? Because 5.2 asks you to explain. Okay.
Information on top says diagram 1 and 2 represent gametogenesis in both human males and females. So you must say why you say this diagram 1 is spermatogenesis.
Isn't it so? Under the first division, it's the cells undergo mitosis, then to form the diploid spermatogenea, if I'm not mistaken. Then they also undergo meiosis to form the other sperm. What is it called again? Spermatozoa.
But what can you see is the difference between the two diagrams? Look here, it says degenerating cells, and this does not have degenerating cells. So why do which basically it's asking you which is male and which is female here, because it says this diagram, each of these diagrams shows gametogenesis in males and females. So which is the male and which is the female? And the only difference between these two diagrams is this part where it says degenerating cells. So does that occur in males?
Yes, it occurs in males and not in females.
Why do you say that?
Isn't it so? They are like those two cells. I forgot the other one, but I remember it's called. It's something that got to do with epithelial cells, and the other. I'm not sure about the scientific term, but there's the other one which nourish the developing spermatozoa, and the other one that's epithelial. What's it's germinal epithelial cell.
Yeah. What about that?
So by them being the diagram label titled degenerating cells, and that's referring to them as they undergo meiosis.
Yes, okay. I understand what you're saying, but it's actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Nimisha, if you think any differently, but to me, this looks like the female because there's only one ovum that is released, one egg at a time.
Sorry? Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that is why this diagram 1 is for a female, but for a male, many sperm mature. So here where you see there's many sperm, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them become mature. Okay, because there's millions of sperm, okay, that are produced, but only one ovum at a time matures. The rest degenerate. Are you with me? Linda Kushler?
Yes, I do understand that.
Okay, so that's why diagram 1 would be female. So that is now oogenesis. Okay. Okay, so explain your answer to 5.1 by referring to a visible difference. Degenerating cells results in one mature ovum being produced. Okay. Where in the human body does the type of gametogenesis shown in diagram 2 take place? So now that we know this is female, this is male, where in the human body does this type of gametogenesis take place? In the testes. Okay, it's an easy one. Let's move on. Give the chromosome number of the cells at 1. The ploidy, the chromosome number or the ploidy of the cells at 1. They are going to be N because it's starting off as 2N, and then after the first meiotic division, it reduces the number of chromosomes by half, so it becomes N, haploid. The cells at 2 also N. Okay. Name 2 processes that take place during meiosis 1 that lead to genetic variation. Again, another question that is integrating the 2 sections. Okay, so you must be able to know this. And also it's even integrating a bit of meiosis into this. Okay, so this is quite a integrated question. Okay, so don't learn your sections in isolation. You must always learn your sections as a whole, understand it all in relation to each other. Okay, so name 2 processes that take place during meiosis 1 that leads to genetic variation. Again, we've done this question already in the previous one, and that was like from a different paper completely. Okay, so you must realize that it's quite a common question that they can ask. Explain the implication for the human population size if 3 cells referred to in diagram 1 did not degenerate but remained as gametes. So what do you end up with? You end up with more eggs. Okay, which means that you're going to have more sets of twins, triplets, etc. Okay. Sorry, if 3. So if 3 cells referred to did not degenerate, so you've got 4 cells, so that is quadruplets. Okay, because we'll have 4 mature ova. Refer back to the question in the human population. Okay. 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 Exercise and sperm count. Research was conducted to determine the effect of lifestyle on the sperm count of young males. In this study, 189 young male students from a university in New York filled out questionnaires on their physical activity, diet, stress, and other lifestyle factors. Each male student then provided a semen sample. The results showed that the male students who exercised more than 15 hours a week had a sperm count 73% higher than those who exercised fewer than 5 hours a week. A second investigation showed that men who watched more than 20 hours of TV per week instead of exercising had a 44% lower sperm count than men who watched little or no TV, which means that they exercised more. Okay, so a person who exercises secretes more antioxidant enzymes that can prevent a natural process called oxidative stress from damaging cell membranes in the body. This damage can disrupt the formation of new sperm. So when watching TV or sitting, the scrotum gets pushed against their body, making the region of the testes hotter and possibly preventing new sperm from being produced. Okay. Name the specific meiotic process responsible for the production of sperm cells. It's called spermatogenesis. Okay, 6.2. Explain why a high temperature in the region of the testes may prevent the production of new sperm. Okay, so a higher temperature, okay, prevents new cells from forming. State a general conclusion that can be drawn from the results in the first investigation. Okay, so the first investigation was that the results showed that the male students who exercised more than 15 hours a week had a sperm count 73% higher than those who exercised fewer than 5 hours a week. So what's a general conclusion? What's the general conclusion, anybody?
Think about the active people and the inactive people.
So those who are more active had a higher sperm count. Okay, that is basically your conclusion. Okay, state one way in which the reliability of this study can be increased.
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
Sorry. State one way in which the reliability of the study can be increased.
The Krishna says increase the number of people in the survey.
Correct. Okay, draw a labeled diagram to show the structure of a sperm cell. Okay, so that's pretty easy. You draw the head with the acrosome, the nucleus, the middle piece, and the tail. Okay. Okay, we've got time for just one more question, I think. Maybe two more. Okay. Give the letter and name of letter and name, or the part. Oh, this is the female reproductive system now, because we didn't even get to this section yet. Female reproductive system, the part that breaks down when the levels of progesterone and estrogen drop. That would be correct, the endometrium. What's the letter? C. Okay. The part that plays a role during copulation.
In the Kushler says D, vagina.
Correct. The part where the zygote will be formed. That is a fallopian tube. The part where the Graafian follicles develop, that is in the ovaries. So that is B. Okay, that was for 2 marks each, but it was so simple just for you to write the name and the letter. Okay, so don't lose marks on a simple question like that. Make sure that you are able to answer such a question, which means that you need to know labels. Okay.
Because you get 1 mark for letter and 1 mark for the correct label.
Yes. Okay, label structures A, B, and C. A is the fallopian tube. Okay. B is the ovary. C is the vagina. State 3 functions of D. Three functions of the endometrium, functions of the uterus, sorry.
Protects the fetus.
Correct.
Development of the fetus.
Yes. Next, one more. Has endometrium. Okay. To allow implantation of the fetus. Okay. Fertilization usually takes place at Y. Why will a blockage at X prevent fertilization at Y? So if something is blocking the fallopian tube at X, why will fertilization not occur at Y? Because remember the sperm, okay, Linda Kusha, you said the ovum will not be transferred. Yes, but we're talking about now, why will there be no fertilization? Remember, the sperm are coming up from this direction, okay? The sperm are coming up through the uterus, through the fallopian tube, and it's going to fertilize here towards the ovary. Now, if there's a blockage at X, the sperm cannot travel towards the egg at Y. Okay, the egg is coming from Y, up from the uterus, from the ovary, and the sperm is coming from the uterus side. Okay, so if there's a blockage at X, the sperm will not be able to get to the ovary, will not be able to get to the egg. Okay. Fertilization usually takes place at Y. Why will a blockage at X not necessarily lead to infertility? Because there is another ovary, there's another fallopian tube. Where fertilization can take place. Okay, so on the other side, there's another set where fertilization can take place. Okay, and that is all we have time for today, unfortunately. No, this is a short one. Let's try and do it quickly. What do you think? Let's do it. Okay, one more question. Okay, write the letter and name of the part which transports urine to the outside of the body. Quick, 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 give me the letter. Sorry, what am I saying? It is B, the urethra. Okay. Where fertilization occurs, that would be E, the fallopian tube. Okay. Okay, where sperm cells are produced, that would be C, testes. Then where ova are produced, that would be F, ovaries. Very good. Okay, so we're done with our questions. We got through quite a bit today. Well done. Okay, so that is all we have time for tonight, unfortunately. These slideshows will be posted for you on the website. Okay, the link has been posted in the chat for you. This slideshow will be posted on there for you to attempt these questions. I've got quite a bit more if you want. Okay, there's quite a few more questions that we didn't get time for today. Also, we are running EC Zulu live science sessions. Okay, that there's one on Thursday at 5 p.m. And then our next English session will be on the 15th of August, which is next week, Monday at 5 p.m. Okay, so please do join us on next week, Monday, for another session, okay, where we will be going through work that you are currently covering in class. Okay, so I know that's going to be really helpful for you guys in preparation for trial exams. Okay, so thank you so much for joining tonight, and we hope you have learned something. Okay, and please do join us on our next session next week, Monday. Okay, before I close, I just wanted to give Armstrong one more chance to ask me his grade 11 question. I don't mind answering that very quickly for you, Armstrong. You're welcome to also post it in the chat very quickly, or you can also email us at lifescience. Sorry, what is the email address again? It is lifesciencehelpline@ukzn.ac.za. lifesciencehelpline@ukzn.ac.za. If you wish to email us a question, then we will reply to you. Okay, you can also ask me right now. Don't feel shy. If you have anything particularly in particular. Armstrong, you're on mute.
No, I'm fine.
You're okay. Okay, very good. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much for your time tonight, guys. I hope you benefited from this session. Please do join us in our next session. You can do the isiZulu session on Thursday at 5, and our next session, which will cover a new topic, will be on Monday, 15th of August at 5 p.m. Okay, thank you very much and good night.
Good night, everyone. You're welcome, Sipasihle.